Hello, 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 everyone. Hello. Welcome. This is going to be a good one today. Hot Facts interview. I got a real good one. I'm doing an interview today with fellow content creator. Hello. Let me go ahead and shout these out. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Kevin? All the way, always Lakeland, Florida's in the house. Check out Kevin Hawthorne, people. They have done a couple of news clips on him around where he works. He helps out people around the bus terminals and things like that. Go ahead and check it out. And hello, hello, cousin. She says, "How are you and the family doing?" It is tough right now. I'm not gonna lie, it is super tough right now. Um, I just taking it day by day. There's spurts throughout the day where it gets real tough. There's spurts where it gets okay. Um, you know, just trying to go through it is what I can say. Um, so, but thank you for asking. So right now we're waiting on Dash Theory. I was running a little late, so I sent him a message and told him 11:10 instead of 11 a.m. So he will be stepping in. He is a fellow content creator. My man has a lot of knowledge, a lot of knowledge. He does he does pretty much all of the apps that everybody else does, but he likes to do the grocery store apps. And my man also does some work from home. He also does some work from home, and he ventures into that realm. He's in the lobby right now, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him up once he gets set. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. Multi-app in Chi-Town right now. Now wait, okay. This is coming in from the Gray Ghost 1992. The Gray Ghost 1992. Multi-app in Chi-Town right now. Waiting for an order. Go ahead and make that money, man. We gotta make that money. It's Saturday. I just got back from doing orders. Now I normally do Uber Eats in the morning time because Saturdays where I am. Uber Eats is banging in the morning times. I'm talking about the donut shops, the IHOPs, the Denny's, all of those are banging. But I'm doing Walmart Spark now also, and I've been doing that throughout the weekdays in the early AM. So today I turned on the app. I turned them both on. I got the first order was an Uber one, knocked that out, and then all the rest were Spark. So the Spark is very, 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 very great in my area. There's incentives on incentives on incentives, and all you got to do is just do your thing. Now, my compadre here, people is out there in a very, very hot state right now, and he does a lot of the work that a lot of us, put our mind to doing. But he also has a few other things and how he makes money. Also, I've seen a video or two going in on that, so we'll go ahead and tap in on that. But we got Dash Theory TV in the house. Go ahead and I know everyone knows who you are, but go ahead and introduce yourself one more time.
Yeah, what up, y'all? It's your boy John Dash Theory TV. You can find me on all socials, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, what's the other big one? TikTok. Talk about how to make money. Try to do it numbers based as much as possible. I have stats background, a little bit of computer science. So I kind of get is I won't say intricate, but I try to be factual with it. So definitely try to drop hints, tips, all that and above. So yeah, thanks for having me on your show, man. I know we've been trying to link up for a minute, so glad to finally hook up with you, man.
Yeah, man, I felt it was the perfect time because I watch what people do, and I didn't want to do an all the way interview with you yet until I got approved on the Walmart Spark. I wanted to have something more to talk about. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get on Spark. I'm trying to get on Spark myself. I'm not on there yet. I know that there's a lot of people, I guess, have issues like going through that like that pre-approval process, like after the background check and all that, and that's where I'm kind of stuck in.
All right, well, check this out. I thought I was stuck too. You're not stuck. It's just you went through the first part. Now you're just sitting in the waiting room like you're in the doctor's office, the emergency room. Now you're just sitting until your number's called. That is all you're doing. Because I was like, is there something wrong? I'm like, I know I'm not crazy or nothing. I said Uber allows me to drive. It can't be, it's Walmart. You can't be more. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? But then I just figured out that's just a process. And once you're in. It took me about 6 weeks. It took me about 6 weeks. So, but once you get in, it is very, very good. I like it because I know the warehouse. I was an AM1 in the warehouse, so I know exactly what they are doing as far as the picking. And I was like, wow, they're just doing third party picking because a lot of people don't know that the pickers have a rate, and when let's say they're short on staff, these people have to now go ahead and pick way more orders or way more stores. So then it gets backed up in there. And in order to fix that, they have to do third party to do the picking because all that stress, and then those people are inside the warehouse, right? And they're breathing in all that extra dust and stuff. So it's a health concern also. So they have to do the third party. So once I got on Spark, I said, it's the exact same. I pulled the worker to the side, looked at their SNCC. It's the exact same. When the people are doing the Instacart, I looked at their phone. It's the exact same system. Is broken down into the third parties to go ahead and help. But the picking process is easy. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to pick. When you're picking the orders on Spark, you're not. If there's no substitute that's normally right next to it, then it just skips. Like 60% of the time, the people don't even want to substitute. So like some of your
is Spark shop and deliver, or is it delivery only? That's what I'm not clear
both.
on.
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. So if you get a .com order, that's still an online order. The only time you shop is just a shop, and you're just pretty much like on Shipt and all the rest of them. You're looking, you go through the aisles, it snakes you through, and you just go and pick. You just go and pick depending on how you pick. The better you're gonna be, and then on now here's what I want to tell people though with Walmart Spark. If the item is not there, let's say you accept the order. Let's say the order is $50 and you accepted it. Now let's say some items are missing and that are not there. Because those items are not there, they minus those out. They minus from what the customer is paying, and then they adjust for what you're going to get paid instantly. There's a lot of people that are wondering why is my pay not the same from when I accept it. But you got to understand, each item that you are taking out, that takes out part of the cost. So they have to go ahead and adjust it accordingly.
Yeah, I feel like some of the other apps do that too. Like I'm not 100% sure if Ship, Shop, and Deliver does that, but I feel like they do. And I think what's the other one I do? Corner Shop. I feel like Corner Shop does that too because there's like a calculation by quantity, of course, by the items, and so yeah, they do that too. So
yeah. Right, and it's now here's the next part. It's by the items, and then when you're picking and you're doing the shop, you're on the same rate as what they give everyone else that's picking it inside the store. You have a picking rate. So when you accept your order, they'll say, all right, this has 43 items at the picking rate. He should be able to get this done at this time. But the picking rate is based upon everyone that picks, and then they get the number of the average picking rate so that everyone can do. So that goes into it too, the picking rate and all that other stuff. And when the picking rate is there, that's how some people say it's taking longer today for my orders. Here's how that works. The people that are picking on the inside, if they are doing, and your picking rate depends on how many people are on hand at the job too.
So when you say picking rate, is that like the speed, or is that like the money and amount?
That's the speed. That's your speed for, okay, I got this item on aisle A12, scan this one. The next item is on A what? That's the picking rate is from you from item to item. Now that rate changes depends on how many people are actively working in the place. So let's say you're doing a curbside pickup and you're wondering why the orders are taking longer today. Well, they may only have like 7 pickers instead of 13 pickers in there today. And from the 7 to 13 pickers that are inside the store, let's say 3 of those are the ones that move at a very fast rate. Now, the ones that move at a very fast rate, they fill up those blue bins, and they already have them inside the cooling area ready for the other guys to just take out to the car. So the orders are coming out quicker. When those guys are not there, those orders are not sitting there. So you're waiting on the picker who is not going to speed up because he knows I have to do it at this rate. And they don't care about the drivers like that because they're going by their rate. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Is their rate. So that's how it works. I want to clarify that for a lot of people who get into this and they don't know why a weight and things like that. Now you do ship, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Now I see you doing ship, and the information that you give is phenomenal. Like you
Thank
break
you.
down the things that if someone really wants to know what it's about, you break down those numbers and those stats. And what I like about what you do, if let's say there's a couple orders coming in, or you'll give an explanation exactly why, and you'll break down everything that went through your head on why this is the best one. I love that, because a lot of people just see people say, well, I'm gonna just take that one, but they don't let you know that process and why are you so informative.
That's just my personality, honestly, man. Like I hate, hate to fall onto the easy cliche, but kind of a nerd, like I'm a numbers dude. So like when I was in my corporate career, I was a dude that did projects. It was decent with people, but then I was also the guy that when something was broken, I was the guy that goes in and fixes it. A little bit of background in computer science. That wasn't my major. I just grew up, being a gamer, and with that, learning how to kind of go behind the scenes, a little bit of coding, and of course, in my professional career, learned a little bit about data, a little bit about SQL, a little bit about database management. So I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I just like sharing it with people because I can see a lot of ways that it can make people's lives easier. So that's just trying to make people's lives easier at the root of it.
I like that. I see people in the offices that I would work in, or when I'm the director of, I have to go through the numbers too. But he sits in the office next to me, people. He sits in the other office. I got to go in there and talk to him about these numbers. Then he comes to me, and then we put together this thing, a strategy to make it more effective for people. I love that. Now, do you have a Microsoft Gold cert?
No, I used to have a Microsoft Excel certification once upon a time, but I haven't renewed that. But I used to have that, and haven't really got any other certifications. A lot of the experience was more on the job type of stuff. So, although I don't have like I said, any other Microsoft certifications, I do have, I'll say, about 2 years of experience with like Microsoft Access. I think that's the one. Yeah, the database version, and then a little bit of SQL experience, but
Okay.
no real certifications on those. Just on the job stuff.
And you know what? When you're dealing with things like that, the experience comes on the job. I'm telling you, you can all the books, you read, courses you have to pass. I'm telling you, on the job experience kills. That's where you learn. Now that
Well, yeah, it
information
takes it from
you
putting
give,
it
I
like that.
follow it all the way. I follow your information all the way because I understand where it's coming from. Now, you right now, you said you laid back from the DoorDash a little bit, and you're doing some other work at home. Let's tap into that a little bit.
Yeah. So like right now, so I'm doing the gig apps part time. So like, but what I do full time is work from home, working for basically Cigna. So with like the healthcare company, but I'm on their Express Script. So basically, you can't really see it that much. It's not really the nicest area right now, but behind me, I got my work from home set up. And so basically, we handle people's pharmaceutical orders, and specifically for the military. So whether that be, people that need to refill prescriptions, people have, questions about their healthcare coverage, about their benefits plan, just going into like those type of questions and doing that customer service, which is kind of goes with my background because before this, like I said, I was kind of in that corporate side, but what I did was I managed people that managed teams. So like I had 2 or 3 supervisors reporting to me, and those supervisors had people taking calls. But like at my level, you have to look at things from more of a big picture perspective. So the numbers, helping people's careers, and just like helping people. That's where I got into helping people and just learning a lot of different backgrounds, and really just trying to like learn how people think that think differently from me. So, now doing this from home, just the customer service side of it is relatively easy for me. It's just talking to people, a little bit of finesse. It's really learning the systems and learning about like insurance and pharmaceuticals. That's been the challenging part for me because that's not my background. Now, like outside of that, like that's like my 8 to 5. And besides that, whether it be in the morning before I do this at home, which I do love that, I can literally wake up 15 minutes and just log onto my computer and be at work. Or I could wake up 2 hours early, do a little bit of breakfast runs. Maybe like every now and then between like 6 and 8, I'll see like a nice little corner shop order come up. Occasionally a decent Instacart order. So I make maybe 20, $40 in the morning, maybe do a little DoorDash breakfast. And then after I get off work, so about 5 o'clock, do another 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, just depending on how busy it is that day. But maybe do some corner shop, do some ships, do some food delivery. Just like make an extra like $50 a day, ends up being an extra basically 1,500 a month plus. And that's just easy on the money, I'm saying, just doing an extra $50 a day. So of course on the weekends I go a little bit harder, do 100 plus, 150 plus. And of course that number goes higher and higher. But it's real stress-free, especially coming from the background of doing it full time. And then you're going out there, you're doing it from 8 hours to just doing it 3 to 4 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Piece of cake. And full control. That's full control of everything you got going on. So you're pretty much just patching in spots wherever you feel like, okay, that's time. I'll go ahead and knock that out real quick. Now you can really schedule your leisure time and everything else. Because when people, he has a plan. All right, let's go ahead and put that out there. He has a plan. When a lot of people don't have a plan, people, you sit out there forever and forever, and all that sitting, you could be doing something else. And he figured out that, you know what, I'm going to tap into this, do this as the full, and I know exactly with my experience. He has so many trial runs, people and case studies that he's done himself. He knows exactly where to punch himself in. That's why I brought him on. He's an example of, and what he's doing, the 8 to 5, it's an 8 to 5, people, but it's still a gig. It's still a gig. You got to understand that. It's still a gig that gives him the opportunity. He said he can wake up within 15 minutes and hop right on. People that's no socks on. Like right now, he could just have on a tank top and no drawers on. He's sitting there. He could be like that with, but,
basketball shorts and pajama pants to work like pretty much every day of the week.
Now, you're in shape. What's your background with your fitness, man?
Played a little bit of high school sports. Did like actually basketball, a little bit of track and field. Did the little shot and disc, did football, lift the weights, pretty much. But nowadays, just try to eat healthy as much as possible, which is definitely hard to do in the gig world. I mean, now doing it from home, though, it's been a lot easier because, like I said, I can wake up, I can cook, or I can have some frozen stuff. Second thing when it comes to lunch, in the gig world, I was pretty much eating McDonald's 2 and 3 times a week, which is definitely out of the case now. Like I said, it's so much easier to eat healthier at home. Now, granted, you only have, a little bit of time, and you done lunch breaks and whatnot, but still you're at home. So you got leftovers, pop in the microwave. You can cook night and you can cook at night, have leftovers. I mean, besides that, it's, that's kind of my background. Nowadays, it's just easy, Planet Fitness, do a little circuit training and maybe a little bit of treadmill, walk the dog, do a little running on the, we got a little canal back here. But It's basically like just a little outdoor after, of course, Arizona, you got to do it before sunrise and after sundown. Otherwise, you're doing it in 100-degree weather. So,
right. I have family in AZ. I have one of my best friends is out there now. And I'm like, man, it's tough. AZ. Yeah.
It's weird. You get used to it, though. You do after a while get relatively used to it. You still don't like to be in it, but, you can handle it better.
So Roy said the shot put and discus. Yeah, Roy, let me tell you this. How old are you, John?
38. Yeah. When I was younger, so I'm about probably 190 now. When I was in high school, it was probably a solid 220. So I was
all right.
I was a little bigger. I don't say I was hulky, but I was a 250 plus pusher.
Right. So I just turned 40 in June. So I ran track. And I did the 100, 200, 400, 4x1, 4x4, high jump, long jump, triple jump.
You did the whole gamut, yeah, man. The jumps and the runners, yeah.
Yeah, I was being recruited for the decathlon, but the pole vault was something that I was just I've seen people become paralyzed from the pole vault. Yeah. That's always scared me. When you hit that meet and everyone's wearing a helmet, I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
It seems a little bit too dangerous. Why does everybody have a helmet on?
Yes. And I did do the shot put too. I will go out there just to, if we needed points, and if we needed points, go out there and do your thing. Right now, I'm 218. In high school, I was 185 to 190 because I ran that four. That four was my thing. I'll get out there. I was top 5 in the state in the four. So I
The
ran
four is a
that
special
thing.
race because you got to have the speed and you got to have a decent amount of stamina too.
Yeah, the endurance part right there is tough.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then back then, yeah, 185, 190. I'm like 218 now. I'm 6'4". How tall are you?
Oh man, I'm only about 5'10". You a tall dude, man. Man, you can't tell because you're sitting down a lot of time, but 6'4",
Yeah,
that's a solid height, man.
yeah. I'm 6'4". I ran in. Let me see. High school, I ran a 10-800 in high school. After that, when I was running club track, I got that all the way down to a 10-4. I ran a 47.64. I got that to a 46.8. You know, not the fastest, but people, you got to understand. Anytime, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, people. So if you think you can outrun me or something like that, no. If a dog is chasing me, people, I'll probably run like Usain Bolt. You know what I mean?
Yes,
But I notice when you're doing your deliveries and you're carrying your stuff, I'm like, yeah, he's in shape. And then I'm like, yeah, he has a background. A lot of people don't know athletes are smart people. Athletes are smart. Okay, a lot of the scholarships are not because they're athletic people. A lot of them get in because of that brain work.
A lot of people don't realize even if that athletic scholarship, you still got to get certain numbers to get past that NCAA clearinghouse. You got to have numbers to be able to accept that scholarship.
Right, exactly. People, you got to understand. And there's a lot of people that are in sports that do sales. They're in accounting. They're in marketing. They do a lot of jobs that are challenging people. And coincidentally, the most challenging jobs offer you more pay once you learn how to master that. Now, how long have you had, two-part question here? How long have you had your channel up and doing the gigs? And from that, how long before you decided to actually do the 8 to 5 and then branch them off?
All right, so good question. So my channel's been up since, so this is what I'll probably say early last year. Probably I want to say my first video is probably February or March 2021. And so doing that for the longest, been doing that well pretty much the year through. And then as far as going towards that part-time, it probably started popping in my head late last year. People that I used to work with. So taking this, going back to my story, before I started my channel, the reason that I kind of went into gig work 2020, early 2020, before the pandemic really kicked off, the call center that I worked at, they got shut down. They basically got laid off. So got my severance package. And then at that same time, when we're looking into other positions, that's when the pandemic kicks off, right? So between, all the different things the government was doing, my severance package, the pandemic money, it was some decent amount of, nest egg to hold me over. So then going into late last year, late 2021, people I used to work with hit me up. Hey, people hiring again. So people trying to recruit me for jobs at their companies. I'm like, hey, I would like to work with you again, man. And so that kind of was what got me interested in that. But one of those companies, actually DoorDash in Phoenix, is actually one of the, or Tempe really, is like the DoorDash customer service headquarters. So I know a lot of people expect that when they contact DoorDash customer service, is really like, the Philippines or India. But there's a decent amount of people that are actually here in Phoenix doing like their chat and other stuff. So that's what kind of got my interest in it. I didn't go with that position, but after that, like in the months following, my email just started blowing up with more job offers, in DMs, LinkedIn's, whatever you want to say. And so like that's what kind of got me interested in that, and then started seeing some positions, full-time work at home. I had a good friend that actually had been working at home since probably about the time I started my channel, honestly. And he had worked for CVS. What was that? CVS Aetna. So he get into that healthcare. Talked about how like it's a really pretty much cushy job. Takes about 10, 15 calls a day, working from home, watching TV half the time, on his phone half the time. I'm like, that sounds super easy. So as I'm still going down that road, that's what kind of got me interested in there. The beginning of the year, he said, hey, my company's hiring. So, I put out an app there. And then I think probably within a month or two, I got a couple other emails from other health companies like Cigna, Aetna, United Healthcare. And all of these positions, the thing that I noticed about them, and this is what got my attention, is that they were called virtual work from home. And the difference being is that, like, whereas a lot of work from home positions right now are just temporary, like they're going to go back to the office. My friend's one that worked for CVS, his was basically going to go back to the office. Other people that have friends that work like Wells Fargo and other banks get ready to go back to the office. Now, that was probably in March or April of this year. And since then, they've kind of reversed course and not going back to the office. But what got my attention is that, like with this Express one, it was, permanent work from home. So I was like, okay, I can work from home permanently. The pay rates around 20 an hour. With gas prices were going up crazy at that time also. So it was like, before were you making 25, 30 an hour with gas prices, inflation, etc. I was probably making around that anyways, around that 20 to 25 after that point. So I'm like, okay, without having the wear and tear, I can kind of craft and formulate a better plan long term, be able to do stuff, work from home, be able to continue to work on my channel, continue to kind of do brainstorm and other things, and kind of look at other streams of income I can build around that. And that's what really got me interested in working from home. Then, applied, got offered the position and accepted it. And then kind of became a matter of, okay, how am I going to balance this now? So that was a story about kind of what brought me into doing that, I guess, full-time work from home, and then building that part-time or building my gig work and my channel, et cetera, around it.
Yeah, so you pretty much, people, what he just said was it's a way to mitigate just the gas alone. I'm not, because everyone lives in a different state. People will just say $350 is saved a month right there, easy on just gas. Now the oil changes, people. If you're dealing with the full synthetic, it's normally going to be $100. Okay, people. So you look at it, if you actually calculate, and then you'll calculate the meals that someone would typically buy when they're out for driving, you add those in every day, people. You're looking at about $1,000 easily that is not being spent. And that makes that decision so much more easy to now you get to pick and choose when you want to put that wear and tear. That is all the way awesome there. So let's say the whole delivery game, because it's changing every day and there's more products that people are being able to deliver simply because of third parties with the warehouses. If the pay goes up, are you going to scale back on the other one and start doing these more?
So I'll tell you more of my long term. So I would say that if the pay goes up, not necessarily scaling back because of that, but in my long term plan, even though I have this work at home position, my long term is to do two things: and get myself, that pay increase from a work from home position. If I'm getting paid 20, see what I can do to go 20, 25. To continue and do that at home, so make more money from home, and at the same time, look at, okay, now that I got this kind of in the bag, I know how to do the job real easy. Potentially go part time with that work from home, continue to do other stuff for my personal brand and personal business. And if that, the pay for gig work goes up, then have the option to scale up how much gig work I do. So definitely add that in there as well. So it's more so not necessarily going part time because the pay goes up, but being able to scale back and kind of pull those levers based on what makes sense at the time. And so not necessarily being, too stuck in one thing because, say, I go part-time, I work from home and go full-time gig work and other stuff. But then, gas prices shoot up again. So then have that option to say, okay, let me go back to part-time that, and then make the full-time go back, So being able to kind of go back and forth. So I wouldn't necessarily do it just because of the pay, but do it more so because it's just a better, smarter decision at that time.
Okay. Now being a content creator, and we're on the tube, like you said, Instagram, TikTok, everything. Now that's a job too now. So, doing this, as far as the money involved with having a channel, are you in the phase of, I want to try to, where's the channel with the other two is what I'm trying to say. Where's the channel as far as trying to generate, because people, I'm going to say this right now. I get tired and I don't like to see people when they have channels and the first thing they say is, I don't have a channel because I'm trying to get monetized. First of all, stop it. That is the dumbest thing. That is, shut up with that nonsense. Come on now. That's like saying if there's a you get paid straight commission and they sell and they say and they let you know this TV, you sell this TV, you get $200. You sell this TV, you get 500. It's like saying, why do I want to sell 500 for? Why do I want to do that? People, you get on here to have a channel so that people can see your creative side. And you can let someone see how you are intellectually. You know, if you have something to offer, you have people that stand out there at grocery stores and they have a coin thing and they're playing guitars and everything. They're doing all this stuff. All right. So your goal is to try to get paid and have some income coming in on this. So that's why I'm bringing it up. So it is a job, people. I am in this, yes, to go out and help people and do all that other stuff, but I'm a grown man and I'm trying to make money too. Okay, so that's the bottom line. So right now, I put a lot of effort and energy into this. I'm kind of like you. I work in a block. Like it's my main focus, but I have to piece it in to what I normally do. You know, because I'm a nutritionist. I sell nutrition programs. I have one that it's fail proof. It's fail proof. Fail proof. So I got that. People still may want some stuff on that side. Then I'm still in touch with the solar companies and the home energy people that I was running the companies for. Every now and then they'll have me still go in and help train their sales team, do things like that. So I have things that I still do, and that's how I make my money. But I'm trying to have this as my focal point. But then I do the gigs too. So like the gigs, I would say is about, I give it like 60%. 60% is the gigs, and then from the gigs, it's I give it like 20 something percent, and then this right here. So I'm trying to make this become the main. You know what I mean?
Get this above that 51%.
Yeah, to get that above there. Where are you with your setup?
So like right now, I would say right now, not monetized on YouTube yet. I got the subscribers, but I need more watch hours. But my goal there is probably to get that to at least a solid 30 to 40. So kind of my income streams right now. I got my main job, which is probably, I'd say 70%. I own my home, but with that, I rent out a room. So that's probably another, I would say that's probably about 15 to 20%. I also, let me see. And then my gig work, that's probably, I would say, probably, if this is 15 to 20, I'll say that would be about 20 to 30. But my goal is to have my YouTube, my gig work, and I'll call my real estate, my rent to my room, have that all basically get above that 60%. And then basically make my work from home or my W-2, for lack of better terms, get that to be 30% or less. Like my main goal, I want to have my channel. I want to be able to do gig work. And the big thing is, like my family, and I think I mentioned this maybe on another interview, but my family is from Alaska. So like that's where my parents are at. I'm gonna phrase that. That's where I'm from. That's where my parents live. That's where like a lot of my good friends that I grew up with live. And so a big thing to me is travel, because I also got like my sisters who live in Chicago and Philly. So the biggest thing for me is to be able to say, okay, I want to be able to basically have an income that's mobile, or for the most part mobile. Like if I want to be in Arizona up until the summer, kind of do that snowbird life, I want to be able to do that. Be in Alaska during the summer, because I love the outdoor stuff. And then outside of that, be able to travel, just visit my sisters and my nephews and my nieces in Chicago, visit my family on the East Coast in Philly, New York, and Florida as well, and be able to be that. That's like my vision for the future, because in all those states, I can do all those gig apps. Anywhere my laptop can go, I can make a YouTube video. And then ideally, I was going to be able to have that work from home, be able to also carry that with me. Not quite be able to do that yet, but hopefully in the future, have a work from home job, I can do that as well. So that's like the the 1,000-foot view for the future. It's not there yet, but that's where it wants to go with it.
Right. Yeah. I'm in the same place as you with the watch hours. I need right now. I need 1,300 more watch hours, and how I focus in on that. I try to every day from now. I try to get 100 hours a day. So yeah, I try to get 100 hours a day, and that's why people may see I'm so active. I have 822 videos in 6 months right now.
I noticed that. Yeah, you gotta it's amazing to be able to produce content daily. And I don't think people understand the grind that it takes to be able to do that. So like when I see people who do daily content, big ups, man. Big respect.
Yeah, and I do it like that, so I don't have to try to depend on. Some people do one video a week, some people do 2 videos a week. That's only 3 videos if you think about it. And if the watch hours on those 3, I'm just like I'm gonna hit, and then just let them all come in. So I should get the 4,000. I'm not my projection. I'm in August. No, we're in July. My projection was to hit it by maybe like mid to the last quarter of August, maybe like the 22nd. That was what I wrote down when I first started. So I'm still able to do that, and that's why people are seeing that he's doing other stuff more than just the gig work. Like he's talking about social issues and but that's the stuff. That's the stuff that I do. Like that's what I like. And the whole focus of my channel was to start in with, focusing on trying to correct the bad flaws in the gig game. But my whole focus was to have HotFacts as my brand, to have a show where I do interviews. That was my whole focus. But I have to go ahead and get in there. So now that I did that, I let people see, like now you'll see, okay, he has ride-alongs, then he has this, then he has that. So it's giving me a chance to now reach different audiences, to put videos up to where the watch hours are going to expand and get out there more. Because, you know what I mean? So that's how I'm attacking the watch hours. And I'm not even going to lie. My smart TV that I'm sitting in front of right now, my 55-inch, I don't sign in on this. I just put the video on and I just let it run by itself. My kid's smart TV, I go on YouTube, I do that one. And in the other room, I turn the PlayStation on, I put my wife's account in, and I let it watch.
Hey, that's smart.
And I let it watch. And I do those. So when there's no kids in the house, no wife in the house, I turn them all on and turn them all on 2x speed and go through my whole channel.
Hey, that's the real smart. Hey, actually, I learned this recently too. That's the real smart TV, by the way, when you do the way you're doing it. But I learned this recently. So I know you mentioned you turned it on 2x speed, but I guess YouTube, if you put it on half-time speed, it looks at that. How can I describe it? Like the average view duration. Like basically, it increases it. So the best way I can describe it is like if you had a video of say 1 minute long, but if you put it on half speed, it would take 2 minutes to play, right?
Right.
So there you you know what I'm saying now? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Message.
That's the little data boy, yeah.
And I'm gonna bring up someone you may not know. I did an interview with this guy a couple weeks ago. His name is James Guy. Now he's a YouTube content creator, but his whole thing is his channel is to promote other channels. So here's how it works. You go to his channel when he's on, and you hear him like talking like in an auction, but people pay $1. If you pay $1, you get in this rotation for all day. All he does is constantly throws your links up in his live, and he has people like, subscribe, and share. And you cannot get your channel up there to even gain subscribers unless you do that. So he does it to where he sits in front of this like he has a business, and he reads off the list. He'll have like 20 people on the list, and all these people have paid like $1. and he'll read through the list, and then when people are saying hi, like in our chat things here, you'll see him put up their channels, and he'll let you know, click and like. Everyone do the same for everyone, and everyone that goes on there, every single person. If you pay $1, every person that you see up there has a link. They're gonna subscribe to your channels and start watching your stuff. I interviewed him because I thought that was interesting. That's what he's doing now. He has 48,000 subscribers. Okay. He has 48,000 subscribers, and every live that he does, that's thousands of views on every live. He has people in other countries that tap into him to learn how to grow their channel, and it's called Share and Grow. It's called Share and Grow. So he says he does it because there's people that they'll have you in a group with them, and then once they see that you're doing good, they don't watch your stuff anymore because you're doing better than them. He says he's doing this to help the people and let them know that you can still maintain and do your thing. So that's how he's giving back to the people and helping out channels. So there's people that literally that are just like him, that, you know, when you hear people say, oh, you're buying subs, most people think that they're talking about going and do like a Fiverr thing to where they'll go and like have to. No. They have people that do this on YouTube. And then that's how people are buying subs. But if you're gonna buy a sub, I would rather do it that way, to where you give the guy $1 and you have to interact. You have to interact on his page during the live, and you have to go and subscribe and like everybody else's stuff. You know what I mean? So I see what he's doing. That's kind of cool. Now he's monetized doing this. He's monetized doing this. Crazy, huh?
So I think that's crazy. I mean, it's but I see it's crazy, but I see there's a market for it. Obviously, people want to go to channels. For it.
Now, the bad thing is he can't do anything else on his channel but share and grow. Like if he wanted to talk about, well, he can do share and grow with the people there. But let's say he wanted to put a video out about, you know, something interesting. It's not going to go anywhere in the algorithm because all he does is share and grow.
Yeah, there's no, his audiences have no interest in that.
There's no interest at all. It's all about just share and grow, share and grow. Now, in the sales field, this is what you would say if someone's buying dead leads. You know, if you work in that call center and they say, well, we're gonna open up this new study. Someone bought that from the bogus leads. Now, you can get a lot of subscribers, but a lot of them may not watch, and a lot of them may subscribe and then just delete right after just to participate in the program. But in a nutshell, it's the same thing on what someone would do if they will go to Fiverr. You know how the people go there, and then the algorithm will catch it, and then they'll take away all those subs at one time. Right. It's kind of like the same thing. He's just, and YouTube, I guess they're A-okay with it because he's monetized.
Well, the only thing I can say is that versus Fiverr, where I think Fiverr is going to be like bots or people using those little server farms, is that through his channel, he actually does get real people. Right. And so there's that 1 to 5, that small percentage chance that depending on your content, somebody who subscribes through that grow and share may still watch your content. It's still a small percentage, but I think it's a higher percentage than the Fiverr bots, which have a 0% chance of watching your stuff.
Right. And you know it's crazy. He doesn't have another job. He sits, he goes live, and he does it in blocks, like someone that will work on that for Amazon Flex. He does it in blocks. He has 3 separate times throughout the day where he's doing his thing and sharing and growing for people. That's what he does. It's monetized. So he really just sits there and does that. And I'm like, wow, you know, shoot, that's his gig. That's his gig. But the thing I like about that is he created his real own lane. He created his own lane, and I thought that was cool, you know. And this is why I'm trying to tell people: if you're trying to start a business, you don't have to think way too far and think way too deep to start something. The concept, what he got it from, people get in trouble for doing it. He did it in a way where you can't get in trouble. That's all it is.
I mean, and plus you don't know his trials and errors before that. I'm sure he had to figure out that okay, there's a great spot right here. There's a sweet spot. I can do this, but I can't do that because there had to be a learning process. And so I give him credit for going through it because there's probably some knocks on the road, but hey, he found a way, like I said, to make it a full-time job. So it's a salute off to him, man.
Yeah, man. Now, when you're doing your deliveries, what type of car are you driving?
I got a kind of a hoopty. I got an 05 Altima.
Okay, I'm in an Altima. I'm in a 2014. Yeah, Altima said, I don't call Altima the hoopty because you can roll in those things. Like, you can keep going. You can keep going.
Mine was almost 20 years old at this point. Mine's like, 18, 17 years old?
Oh, yeah. You go ahead and get that going. Now, how's the gas on you? I know people complain about gas. To me and my Altima, I'm going to be honest. It's not that bad for me. It's not that bad simply because I'm not filling all the way up anymore. Mm-hmm. I put now when I start, I know how much I can make on this dollar amount putting in my tank. That's how I do it now. So it really don't like the gas really doesn't hit me like that because I know once this is done, my shift is done.
Yeah, I hear that. For me, gas is interesting because it used to be it was going up there. Like I want to say, like right now it's $4.99. Oh, within the last the last month, it was probably closer to $5.70, $5.60. It was getting close to $6, so it's dropped drastically in the last month. Now the Altima on gas, I'm probably 18, 20 miles a gallon right there, but my tank is huge. It's like a 16-gallon tank. So when I fill that thing, it's 3 digits. It's 3 digits. Now, that's one of the things that got me moving towards grocery delivery more than food delivery because, like, in my neighborhood, from like where I live at, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4 between two Fry's or like Kroger's, a Target, and a Safeway within a mile and a half of me. And there's also like a bunch of like the little restaurants. So going to the grocery delivery, I can go to the grocery store with a mile from me and deliver within 3 miles and still pick up a $20 order there. So I'm looking at easy $3-$4 per mile. And so that's been a lot better on gas there. I'll do like a DoorDash or something like that when I'm waiting for orders just to not like make no money. And even those orders, nowadays, being very selective, 2 or 3, trying to do the $2 per mile basically there. So the biggest thing is going to that work from home. Before, like a tank of gas just lasts me about a week. Now a tank of gas lasts me about 2 weeks now. Sometimes a little bit longer than that because the only time I'm really, going through a half a tank a day is on the weekends. So, yeah, besides that, on the weekdays, yeah, I usually probably fill it up once every 2 weeks nowadays. Definitely helps that the gas prices are going down each time I do it. So,
yeah, we're at gas here now is like $5.75 for like unleaded, like 5.80 or something, and $6. Sometimes you'll see like 6.18 at some places, but we're dropping back. We're dropping back down into the 5s. I'm like, man, but just like you, I got that 16-gallon. I got that 16-gallon tank, and if I fill it up, it's gonna say 385. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I can go and get it in. What are your I'm gonna say, you told me your long-term goals. Now, are you is there anything else you're working on to incorporate to your mix, or you pretty solid with what you got now?
So in the long term, couple things I want to do. Like I got within my YouTube channel, I do want to create a second channel down the road. I still got to focus on this first one though. But I want to do a lot of different content. I mean, my background, my side of my background, rather, like when I was younger, a lot of the things I used to do was art. Like I've been making videos, like we used to make back in the days growing up in the 90s with the camcorders. So we used to make videos back in the day, right? Kind of get that passion. Like one of the ones that are kind of the ones that are near and dear to my heart is when we were in high school. We made the Puff Daddy story. It was back in the days when Diddy was dating J-Lo and all that, and Johnny Cochran. I mean, we just had some fun times. And so kind of getting back into those funny videos. I got a lot of different ideas for videos and streams within I would say that are like adjacent to gig content. Not necessarily about, helping people, but more about the entertainment side of things. So definitely want to do that. And then I do write a little bit of music, so potentially releasing some music. And outside of that, I think the biggest thing is just continuing to, just get better at creating content, just more entertaining content. I got probably a handful of videos. I still got a lot of ship knowledge to drop too. I probably got about 4 or 5 ship videos that can help people that I want to drop to. And then probably outside of that, probably want to, yeah, that's probably the main thing right now. I do want to do some food stuff too. I love different types of food, so
Right.
trying to get into some food content, which is kind of on the edge with DoorDash and the food delivery. Plus, living in Arizona out here, there's some kind of like some vlogging content because we got taco festivals out here. We got all types of food stuff out here just because it's like warm year round. And so, like in a lot of places where it gets cold and they get winter and they can't really do stuff outside, that's when there's a lot of fun stuff out here. So just exposing people to that as well. But I think a lot of that stuff will be more towards the second channel because, or trying to figure that out because it's like right on the edge of like what this audience may like versus just entire new audience. So, but yeah,
Right.
it's just what I want to do down the road. And, once I get this channel to a spot where A, it's monetized, but B, can kind of get like a vault of content where I can maybe store up maybe a week or two of content and then focus, start working on the other channel. That's probably when I go down that road.
Right. You know what? That's I was thinking about. Well, I have another channel, but it's not a channel. I have that channel up. When I'm a personal trainer, so my clients can look at the videos that I have them in and stuff like that. So I really don't use that channel for anything. But this HotFacts brand and what I'm doing is I was going to make another channel, but I was like, no, for what my brand and how I'm trying to do it. I'm just gonna have separate. I'm just gonna have separate times. It's gonna be something different on at certain times, and that's why I reached out and I paired up and made the connection with Good Wood. So now when he's doing his show, he's linked in with me now. I give him access to my studio. So now when he's doing his show on his thing, it'll have the HotFacts brand up there. So we have our boxing talk on Wednesdays. So we do that show together. So the HotFacts brand is up there. So I'm looking for now. I'm trying to look for other people to add to the team. Like if someone does cooking or something else like that, a channel, and let's say they go live, but they really don't. They don't have any type of production, but they go live. I'm trying to find someone that has a pretty good channel that goes on to where, they can come on, boom, 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 and HotFacts will be up there for their brand. It'll stream on my channel as well, and as well as theirs. So on my channel, it's going to be consistent, just like you're watching NBC, ABC. You know what I mean? So I have
schedule every hour.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm. So I got this. So I got the gig side. As a news station, they cover news, sports. Weather, sports, finance. So I'm trying to have it, bam, like that. So at certain times throughout the day, that's so I don't have to create a separate channel.
Yeah.
For now, I can give the I can give the watcher the ability to tune in when he wants to because he knows what's on at that time. So
I like that idea a lot, man.
That's how I'm doing my channel here. And a lot of people, they thought that when I got here, they were like, why is he doing this other stuff? I have a plan. And the gig world is, I've been doing it since 2015. This is part of my world. So I'm qualified to teach and educate and do that. I'm qualified to do these certain things. So yes. So
that leads me to an interesting question because I know a lot of people talk about when it comes to gig work and gig content being it having a lifespan. People do it for 2 years, 5 years, whatever. But long story short, people say it's not a forever thing. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, how I have it set up, it's going to be a forever thing because it's part of the news, like it's its own community. Like, so therefore, if I'm going to be able, I talk about, man, everything on my channel. If you've clicked, you've seen everything from family issues, political, it don't matter. You've seen it all. So if I talk about it, it's like a segment. So it's part of everyday life. it's first of all, it's part of the economy. It's what America is doing. They have so many distribution centers that they are building. They have third parties doing the work on the outside. It's how America is operating now. So I have to talk about the gig world. You cannot go without talking about the gig world. Now you have they're robbing them, they're taking their cars, the murders, the shootings, all of these things playing part of the whole system. You can't say, well, this guy got murdered. He got murdered, but he was a delivery driver, so we don't care. No, they all fall into the same thing. So it's never going to go out. What goes out are people that they really don't know how to deliver content. That's the thing. They just do ride-alongs all day, every day, just showing ride-alongs. There's no information in the ride-along. There's no teaching. So for someone like that, they will get burned out. But if you're someone like me or you, and let's say I'm looking for something to go wrong on my delivery so I can use that to teach. You know what I mean? I look for the slightest things so I can still teach about something, to have it so it's never going to go out of style. It's not going to be a fad. Like when I do from 2 to 3, that's news and gig news. When I do my interviews, it's interviews. When I'm doing sports, it's sports. You know what I mean? And if I'm going to do a whole show, like a 2-hour show, I might do gig as one part, this is one, but I'm not going to have it just how I see some people. They have a 4-hour live on just gig work. What can you talk about for 4 hours straight?
I mean, it's going to get stale after enough time. I think, and people only have so much attention span. But I do agree with you. I think you brought up some great points. Like you said, it's a part of everyday American life. It's a part of the economy now, because talk about Amazon, if all of a sudden they stop their, Amazon Flex or any of their gig apps, packages would slow down. It would not happen. I mean, even nowadays, same thing. Like people say, DoorDash ain't gonna be around forever, or Uber Eats ain't gonna be around forever. It's such a big part, I think, right now of these restaurants' income streams that if something bad were to happen, I think these restaurants would invest in these companies, because they would lose too much money not to have them around.
They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. This is what they are doing.
Normal now.
I was in Walmart Spark today, and normally they have an older black dude driving that Zamboni around, cleaning that floor, right? No one in the Zamboni. It just had 2 yellow straps to make sure you don't go and sit in it, and it's working by itself. Okay, no people for that no people operating that. You know what the people were doing? The workers, they were picking items. They were picking items for delivery. They were picking items for delivery. This is the workforce, America. This is the workforce. It's delivery, and every company is going to start adding more things to deliver through them so that they can compete with other companies. They have to try to compete with Amazon. Amazon don't have food, but they don't need food like that. You know what I mean? Because that's why. But that's why you have the Instacarts and everything else like that. Then you'll have an Uber Eats or DoorDash where you can do a little bit of everything. So like the delivery thing is not gonna slow down. It's not gonna stop, because they're trying to get robots to work in the places so humans just go and deliver everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not gonna stop. Why do they want the robots here? So we have more human beings as slaves doing the deliveries. You know what I mean? And that's it. This is what they're trying to do: deliver everything. The only thing you can't get delivered, well, you can. We have a mobile barber. He pulls on up and he cuts you up inside his van.
Well, I mean, especially if you have a barber you've been going to long enough, it basically becomes your mobile barber. I know my barber does house calls. I know I go to my barber's house all the time. So yeah, everything.
It's not going to stop, and this is why people got to understand. You guys can't keep complaining about they're not showing me this when I'm looking at the order. If they don't show me this, I don't want to take it. They can't just give you all of that. They have to have you go through tiers. But for the most part, it would not work right if they allowed everyone to see it just would not work right. People would have more reasons to not take orders, because then they're going to start nitpicking about, let's say it's an $18 order and a $20 order. They'll nitpick about the $18 order when it's damn near the same thing. You'll start seeing, more people do things like that, and then you'll have more orders not being taken.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like that thing. People don't go backwards in life. So, like, if you see, you used to taking $10 orders, all of a sudden you see a $30 order, you can be like, oh, I can get $30 orders. Why am I taking these $10 orders? And the $10 order, nothing is wrong with that order. It's just that you got exposed to something better, and you're not going to go back to those $10 orders no more.
Exactly. And this is the way it is. I just tell people there is a way and a system for you to figure out, and every man knows. Once you figure out your system, I don't care what job it is. Once you figure out your system, you start to become successful. So once you figure out your system in this gig world, people, a lot of people are they're pairing apps that they should not pair together when they're going out working. You got to figure out which ones work good together and not just, you got to figure it out. And you can't hold on no one's hand and try to, you got to figure that out.
So to that point, I mean, that's why I still do DoorDash and those other things, because there's times when there's not enough orders coming around. I'm not getting anything from Corner Shop. Instacart is just throwing me garbage. But there's one thing I know is that DoorDash, with their high volume of orders, every 20 to 30 minutes, I will at minimum see at least one decent order. Then maybe that's just what I need until I get another good grocery order. But right. It gets in where it fits in, basically.
And these grocery orders, man, I'm telling you, people, it is killer. Now, you know what makes me laugh about these things? They give you these time frames to complete them, man. And I know what the time frames are because of the picking and all the other stuff. Mm-hmm. But I laughed. They gave me an order the other day. It had 111 items in it, right? They tried to give me like 3 hours to complete it. Like, I finished that thing with like an hour and 40 minutes left on, like, done. The whole thing was done. And there's a guy, he said, I never take 100 items. It's people like that he's never picked inside a warehouse to understand that picking is easy, to where he turns down those. So where I live, a lot of the people turn down those orders, and they're all in the round robins or pick as you want. Mm-hmm. They're throwing those away because first you're lazy, but that's easy money. So you're telling me 111 items. Let me see. This order is $60. You're trying to give me 3 hours, but I can get it done in an hour and a half. I'm gonna get it done in an hour and a half and knock it out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get something else in, and then boom. So.
Especially those upside of those orders. I mean, yeah, that's how you make that $40-$50 an hour, is picking those big orders up.
Yeah, you do those, and they were telling me, we see you a lot because I'm brand new compared to all of them, and they say we see you here more than everyone. First of all, they tell other people like 7 o'clock. I turn my app on at 5:45. I get batches at 6:08. I'm out there getting them in early.
Yeah, that's the secret right there. If you can get, like, any day that I make money in that morning window, that 6 to 8, that day I'm exceeding goal easy that day.
Golden day. And then they say, well, we don't take those orders. So I get up there early. My acceptance rate and everything else on this thing is good, but I take them, and you guys are throwing away really good orders. So I told them, you guys are seeing me more often because I'm taking your orders, and I'm showing them the pay, and he's just looking at the items like, I don't want to do that many items. I'm just like, oh, wow. Well, I'm taking them all, and I like these orders also. We'll get it'll say like $70, and it'll have like nine drop offs, 9 different addresses. I'm getting that $70, and I'm gonna be able to make that $70 in 2 hours. Done.
That's the thing. The time, people look at the number of items and not about the dollars per the amount of time you're spending. Because the bigger the order, there's how can I describe this? There's a maximum amount of time per item, right? So if you see, most orders, I feel like grocery orders are going to take about an hour anyways. So you can figure out, okay, if this one's going to take 2 hours, and if I'm trying to make $30 an hour and I see $70, that's like $35 an hour. I'm going to get that done. I mean, you probably get it done in 90 minutes, honestly, half the time. If those big orders, like an hour and a half is probably, because I see them on Shipt too. I've taken some 50 plus, not 100, but some 50 plus items on Shipt. And especially when you're shopping at Target on Shipt, or even at the grocery stores, because I shop at these grocery stores all the time. I know I can look at, okay, dairy, okay, cereal, produce, like most of those items, the quantity is inflated by produce.
Mm-hmm.
15 bananas. That's 2 bunches of bananas. Boom. Okay. Tomatoes. Okay, a bunch of Roma tomatoes or whatever it may be. Like it's people make it harder than it really is.
Easy,
But
man.
also they're not willing to do the work. If you're willing to do the work, once you do it once, you realize, oh, this is easy. The second time it's even faster. So it's more for me. I'm not complaining, but trying to put people on game, man. Trying to put people on game.
On game, man. And the people being in shape. I'm gonna let you guys know, okay? I have a degree in kinesiology. All right, I'm NASM certified nutritionist, and I've been a trainer for the past 17 years. Okay, I've worked with some really high people, and let me tell you, staying in shape helps out a whole lot. I see people in the aisles picking slow because they're not in shape. And people think people you can maneuver that cart. You might get a busted cart. Your wrist ain't strong enough. You gotta be in shape. You get things done faster, more efficiently. And then when you have to go take those items to the door, people being in shape counts, people. Your back count, people, depends on how strong your forearms and your shoulder is, people. That's going to be how many
and
you can
core.
Yeah, and your core. People, you get them in both hands, pull those shoulder blades back, walk through a fireman's carry. You can do separate stuff. If you got to take them upstairs, people, you're doing the Stairmaster, people, and you got 20, 30 pounds in each hand going up, staying posture, you're breathing, you're working out at the same time. You get that water, people, if you can, pick it up, get it, then put it straight up to your shoulder to get a full body workout like a deadlift to a full get that full body going in there. People, look, you can work out and have a good time. And check this out. You go into Walmart, head to where the food section is, and just ask the people, do you have some water? They will give you water there. There's a McDonald's or a Rally's in there. Ask them for some nice water in there. I don't suggest this, but every now and then, if you see the coast is clear, eat 2 grapes. But there are things you can do on this job, people, and not eating burgers and staying out of shape. And staying in shape helps, man. You get the job done more efficiently. And I like how he understood how I broke down the time. I look at the time and how I can get it done. And I've been seeing in your videos, like you talk about that too. So people, I want you to know when you're watching these content creators, really pay attention to the messages. And if you're thinking about the money, your per hour, just listen to everything they're saying and seeing if it really breaks down to that. Okay, if you do like me and John are saying, you get it done that way, you'll be able to get the work done much more faster, and that increases your per hour average. Okay, it increases it. Now, some people get caught up in the per hour average, John, and I'm like, they get caught up in that. So if they see that their per hour average will drop, they just won't drive anymore for the rest of the day, but they didn't hit the goal monetarily wise that they're supposed to hit. People, sometimes you got to keep going to hit that. You know what I mean? You got to keep going to hit that. Don't quit. What do you got to say about that?
Man, I agree with that, man. Like, there's some days, you take an order that you think it's going to take 30 minutes and things are out of stock, whatever reason, it takes you an hour. Yeah, it sets you back. Yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah, it's a little down, but that's when the real grind kicks in, because everything is easy when the chips are up, but when your chips are down, that's when it really defines who you are. That's, we take that bad order. Okay, I still, try to make my $50 a day, and I thought this order was going to be, $25 an hour. It ends up being $25 an hour and a half. Well, I know that, okay, I'm behind schedule. I didn't just buck it up and, take a little bit more DoorDash because I know I can get, a $6 here, or Uber Eats, I can get a $10. I mean, it's just, I think that you got to have that goal. I mean, there's some days when there's other things that happen, and maybe it's a Friday and I know I got Saturday ahead of me. Maybe I'll say, okay, I'll short myself $20 a day and wake up early tomorrow. But for the most part, I mean, I also look at it as I can exceed my goal this week if I just stick it through today and go hard tomorrow on top of it.
So, right. And I'm gonna tell you this, though. What I did this morning on Walmart, I made $100 total. So I did $5. My only Uber Eats order was $5, and then all the rest of them. So I did, my first order was at 8:08. this morning, and I was all the way done by 10:28. I was all the way done. Made that $100, 2.5 hours. Drove on back here. Now, when I go back out later, people see it's gonna. Now I can that 200 is gonna come just like that. People, it's gonna come. It's gonna come just like that because I got to do two more orders on. I got to do two more orders on Spark to get an extra $25. So that's gonna be that there. Then depending on whatever those orders are, and then I'm gonna stop that, and then I'm gonna do Uber Eats all the way until maybe like 11 p.m. Just knock out the Uber Eats where it's Saturday. People are going to be, you know.
I love Saturday on Uber Eats in this area, especially. That's when you get those family meals. You get people, ordering for the wife, the kids. Okay, they get them stacked. Okay, it's a nice little 25 turns into 35. Those are the day makers.
7-Eleven's crack. 7-Elevens on Saturdays are good, people. I don't know about your area, but 7-Elevens are good where I am. Like they'll order the 7-Eleven pizza over the other pizza.
Really? I never seen that. I have to check those out.
Now I got a question for you. Being there in Phoenix, my brother used to stay over there by GCU. Now I know you guys have the drive-through liquor stores. Do you guys pick up the drive-through orders at the liquor store for like Uber Eats, or like if you gotta do an alcohol order on DoorDash? You guys got to go to the drive-through
alcohol orders. I've never seen them at the drive-through stores though. I've seen them at 7-Elevens. I've seen them at like the grocery stores, but there's literally a drive-through liquor store across the street from me. Like I've been there for my own self, but I've never been there for like a delivery app.
Right. Now they had a pickled sausage. They had a pickled Polish sausage at the Circle K where I was at, and I said, "Hold up, they have a pickled Polish sausage," and I was like, "Who eats that?" And then I see two Mexican dudes come up in there, and they came and bought them, and I was like, "Oh, that's got to be a delicacy." I've never seen a pickled Polish sausage, and at the Circle K is where it was at, and I was like, "Wow."
That's definitely a local thing, yeah, because I've seen like the spicy pickles, so imagine it's a mix of a spicy, I don't know, spicy.
Yeah, that's crazy right there. Now I asked this quick question now. You see me come into the game? No, I'm gonna ask you like this. Your first thought when you first see me hit the gig world, first thought, then would you see my direction and what it is? What do you think about the whole HotFacts thing?
All right. So when I first seen it, I remember the intros. I was like, what is this? Because he's like, yeah, all the people talking about HotFacts and robberies. I thought that was kind of dope. Definitely got a lot of crowd participation. And then I think I noticed the consistency of your live. So I think hopping in at the time I was full time, I'd pop in. I think when I was doing like a lot of shit in the afternoon, brought up some good topics. And then now I think I've seen the expansion to. I'll say one other thing. I've seen interact with a lot of different channels. I know the whole Pedro saga, a little bit of that. I was like, okay, maybe a little bit of troublemaker. But now, seeing the knowledge dropping, I've seen some of the social issue content. Okay, a little bit higher IQ. It's not there's a man with a plan. Yes, maybe getting into stuff, but also has a point with a lot of the content that's just bigger than gig work too. Now talking to you, definitely getting to know the person, definitely see even more of that higher IQ type of stuff going on. Okay. So it's definitely, yeah, there's some things going on, but it's definitely things that have a point. It's not random. It's a method to the madness. That's what I see now.
Yeah, thanks, man. And that's the whole thing, because I knew from me coming in, people were going to be like, is he a troublemaker? And when I set up my whole plan, I knew that was going to happen, because I'm coming out of nowhere. No one knows who I am. And who is he to just come up and just start saying this stuff? Like when I first did a video and I said Pedro's name in the video, it got like 1,000 views, and then he hit me up, and then people were like, who is this guy? And then on his interview that he had with me, they were like, this dude is talking some crazy stuff, but they didn't understand. Once he asked me how long have I been driving for, and I said since 2015, people were saying it was around since then. So then I guess then people were like, oh, we may have to listen. So, but then I knew that they were going to think it's my message. I knew they were not going to take it kindly, and they're going to think that when it's just like if you work in a place, you have to call things out. You just call things out. You know, if you call it out, safety hazard, you know, whatever, you call things out. So they didn't understand that the things I'm calling out, it's not directed towards an individual. But if you have a spokesperson that is actively a spokesperson and puts themselves into that shoe, then I have to address everything to the spokesperson. You see what I mean? Because the spokesperson is speaking for all the rest of you. So when I'm going at him, it seems as it's an individual that's boom, boom, boom. No, it's I have to use him as a reference for all. Or if I start saying all you guys, you know, it's like when the wrestler, the heel, when he gets on the mic and he says, all you, the whole crowd boos. Right. You know what I mean? So I cannot do that. I have to put all of that into him because he's putting himself there to deflect it around and spread it out. So, you know, it's coming out like that. So I already knew that it was going to come out like, oh, he's challenging and he's a tournament maker. But like you said, there's a method because if you actually listen.
You said a lot of good things on customer service. I like those videos. That's my customer service being in the background. I've seen, it's not troublemaking for the sake of troublemaking, but if there's something you don't agree with, I mean, nowadays a lot of people don't stick up. And when you see one that does, people are like, oh,
yeah,
everybody got a voice.
Yeah, got a voice. And the one thing is that, you know, here's what I want to tell every content creator out there. My lane is I report news also. I'm a reporter for the gig world also, like I do everything else. When I'm reporting on news, how you see on CNN and everything or Fox, they have their opinions and they're able to say their opinion. I do the exact same thing. If I see it, first of all, if you are a content creator, you're creating a video. What do people do? We watch videos. We have people that critique and rate movies and film festivals. They have an opinion on the videos that they are watching. That's what I am doing. I can have an opinion about your video, people, and still be friends with you. Business and personal relationships I keep those separate when I have to do this as a job. There's a lot of content, I said job people, a lot of content creators don't put themselves into this situation to where they see it like this. So if I see someone like Sarah Elizabeth dropping off the order to the wrong house and telling the lady that, oh, well, you have to cancel it. I'm dropping off another order. I can call that out. I lost subscribers because I called it out. But people, I report the news in the gig world. I have to report that too to tell people, hey, go ahead and do it like this. I report that news. And I can report that news and still say, hey, how are you? How me and Pedro go back and forth. He still text me. Pedro still texts me, and we text back and forth. I can still have a difference of opinion and still be able to have that respect as a peer. There's a lot of people that don't understand the professionalism when you're doing this, and you're like how I'm doing this content thing. It's a professional thing. You know what I mean? Like I watch everyone's videos. Like Cars and Cribs got deactivated for they're sharing accounts. And someone saw that his name is not Ellen, his name is Jerome, and, you know, they made a complaint, they got deactivated. I spoke about that in the video, and I talked about that on my live. That's part of news. Now, I also told the dude I like his content. I like how he interacts with the kids, and he's always, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am, all that stuff. But just like when you watch ESPN, if Jerry Rice sees, let's say, Devontae Adams acting up, Jerry Rice is going to talk about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's all it is. So for every content creator out there, stop being butthurt. This is my job. This is my job. This is my brand. This is what I am doing.
You'd be a disservice if you wasn't putting it out there. If you were just letting that elephant in the room just sit there and be like, oh, I got feelings, you know, because there's two sides to every story. And I think, obviously, if you're somebody that calls things out, calls it how you see it, and all of a sudden you stop doing that, people are like, ah, man. But in the people that even if they don't agree with what you're saying, they respect the fact that you're saying it or they're calling it out. I mean, that's how you know that creator is real. That's that creator that I'm going to watch because I know that they're giving the real. And I think that's the biggest thing about A, being a gig worker, than B, watching content about gig work, is that you know what's real and what's not, especially if you've been doing it long enough. I mean, you see, okay, like you said, so and so got deactivated for sharing an account. I mean, charges to the game. Yeah, it was a good run, but there's a reason. It's not all rainbows and sunshine out there.
It is. It is not, and that's why I was glad you said. That's why the question I brought up when I first hit, so I can see and how you described it. That's exactly how it went. And like you said, he said I see him on other channels. I'm on other channels constantly, and I get audiences they'll hear me speak and then they'll hit subscribe because the message or whatever's going on, and I'm on that panel. I'm like, huh? And then I like to do that because whenever I'm on, my background's up. They always say, you have a channel, huh? And then go ahead. So I'm able to pitch my channel out there, do my sales thing, do that consistently. And then I want to have my face all over. And so I can do my HotFacts brand. So that's how I'm going to be bringing in a whole bunch of different people into the whole HotFacts thing. You know what I mean? So, but getting yourself out there on other channels is another way to get subscribers. Okay, do that and personally get subscribers. I like to get at least 5 subscribers myself a day, so I'm not depending on the algorithm. So I like to do that myself. So people, get your own subscribers and go hop in on other channels. If all you do is gig work, what else do you have to offer in society? You know, like there's things going on about voting, and there's a whole lot of things going on that you have to be able to, give your input on. And if you don't have anything else to say except I don't want that because it's not a tip, you can't do it. I didn't want to be.
You can't really help people if all you're talking about is the orders you take. I mean, there's other things, there's other aspects of people's lives that are outside of gig work. I mean, that's a sliver of people's lives.
Exactly, and people, you just you have to understand that. And outside of going to channels. I appear on Ball Facts, LeVar Ball's channel. So when they're doing Ball in the Family, Ball is Life, their guy that's there, he's in every single video. LeVar Ball has his channel, and then Flight Sports TV is their second channel. So I'm on a panel. If you guys want to get any of the Lonzo Ball, D'Angelo Ball, LaMelo Ball information first, you may want to talk to me. I'm on a panel on Flight Sports TV about three times a week. I speak on there. I appear on Chaotic Truth. We go over issues about manhood and social issues there. You'll see me on the Lapeef Network speaking on certain things like that. I'm on people. I branch off all over, and I like that because I want people to see that there's more to me than what you think the book is. Okay, I'm a nerd, low key. Everything he said about computers and stuff, people, I was the kid breaking down the radios and putting them back together. I have done everything there is to do with electronics and sales and all that other stuff. I'm a nerd, low key. I was part of the Geek Squad, but not worked there. I made house calls myself, people. I built computers, you know what I mean? So I'm a nerd. So there's a whole lot here that I like to bring out, and that's why I go over a whole lot of different things. Wait till you guys see my culinary skills. Wait till you guys start seeing things about animals. I went to school first to be a zoologist, but I didn't want to go through all that school, so I switched to kinesiology. Okay, so people, I'm smart with insects and animals, and I tried out for Jeopardy. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I find interesting about people. When you find about people's were majors first, like their passion majors, I call it, before they got into their I got to make a real world job majors or got to go other thing majors. I think that's what I find interesting. Like I said, the zoology piece of it. So I think, and I think I mentioned that. I mean, I kind of figured that the high IQ, I seen the high IQ part of you.
Yeah, man, and I like to hide it for the most part, depending on where I am, what situation I'm in. Obviously, if it's something with the client or business, I'm gonna be dressed apart. I'm gonna do my thing. If I have a business meeting, obviously my vocabulary is going to switch. If I'm things like that. But for the most part, I keep it laid back, and I like to bring it out when I'm supposed to. Now, I don't want to sound like Bill Nye the Science Guy. So people, I kind of do it with an urban twist, and when need be, if I have to make sure I'm germane in a situation, I make sure I do that. You know what I mean? So
I hear you.
yeah. So with that being said, people, this was a good one right here. I've been waiting to do this one, man. I've been waiting to do this one, and I've been waiting to talk to you myself, just so we can have a one-on-one, so you can fill me out personally, because I know I get messages. There's a lot of misinformation about your boy Reese right here, so that's why I do these interviews too, just so people can sit down and and just figure it out.
The internet's a weird place because the more you put out, the more there is to twist up and people to to misinterpret. So I think it's always great when you're able to get stuff from that, though they say from the horse's mouth itself.
Oh yeah, and for the future people, I don't bite my tongue. My family can't stand that since I was a little kid, but they know that's me. They know that's me, and I have a respectful way of doing it, and you don't see a lot of but you won't see F bombs and all that other stuff. People, I'll go ahead to the dictionary or the thesaurus on you if I need to. With that being said, let the people know everywhere they can find you at one more time.
Is there a Dash Theory TV? Subscribe, follow me on YouTube. Subscribe, follow me on TikTok and Instagram as well, Twitter as well. And hit me on the major four: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter.
Man, we may be able to work. We may be able to work together on something, man. Well, try to put something together, man. I'm trying to build a team. It's got different stuff going on. You know what I mean? And the more
definitely important to have a team, especially in this area. There's so many different, especially when you have that creativity. And you got a message to put out there. There's a lot of places to put it out through. So definitely need a team. Definitely down to work with you again, man. Definitely be on here again.
Yeah, people. Whenever they're really that great, get one of these. I'm gonna go ahead and get some applause here. I'm gonna get some applause. Go ahead, get some applause right there. Oh yeah, people. This was Hot Facts with Robert Reese live interview. That was John Dash Theory TV, people. Until the next caper. I'm out of here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. I'll see you guys later.